Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at the 42nd report of 2017, and as usual we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions. Here we go. As you may see, we have the S&P 400 on top of our list with a 20% change in commercials positions, 19 in large speculators. These changes are larger than average, but of course nothing too unusual. It is a bearish COT change signal. It may affect prices in the near term. Jumping to a 5-year chart, you can see that we're still at a bearish extreme. Of course, I'm just repeating myself from last week. The picture was pretty much the same, but the extreme has definitely widened. It's very close to all-time extreme levels. So we have both the COT change signal and the extreme signal pointing downwards. Our next market is Oats with a 15% change in commercials positions, 21 in large speculators. These are definitely much greater changes than average. Again, we're talking about a bearish COT change signal after prices have increased. So again, we're talking about a fine opportunity in the near term. Jumping to the 5-year chart, you can see that we have the most bullish extreme back over here from mid-2015. The most bearish one was back over here in mid-2013. And we're more or less in between the two, a little bit closer to the bearish extreme. I wouldn't go to any further extent than that. So I'd say it's mainly the COT change signal that should be taken into consideration now. Moving on to soybeans, where we have a 12% change in commercials positions. Commercials are net short at the moment, close to 50,000 contracts net short level. We have a bearish change signal, but this change signal may be coming a little bit late compared to Oats, where we had higher prices or a rally in the end of this week. Here we have a decline already, so maybe this signal is a little bit late for us. But jumping to the 5-year chart, you can see that what the extreme tells us. And again, we have the most bullish extreme back over here, most bearish extreme back over here, and we're more or less in between the two. So I could basically say the same as I said in Oats. Let's just move on from here and look for better opportunities. Large speculator COT Extreme, well, that wouldn't be that helpful, but as you can see, I have an all-time extreme over here. So let's jump over to small speculators COT Extreme and check out lean hogs, where we have a all-time COT Extreme in small speculators positions. Here we go. You can see that over here. And of course, this means that we have a pretty decent bullish extreme. From their perspective. There's nothing too unusual in the commercials or in a large speculators position. So it's really just the small speculators extreme that can be counted as a signal. And the last time we had a similar extreme in small speculators was back over here in the end of 2014. And as you can see, that was a pretty decent signal for us. Prices have jumped up from there. And who knows, this might be the same situation. I would say that even here you could see that neither commercials or large speculators were giving us any significant signals. It was only small speculators, and that's the exact same situation we have right now. Moving on to coffee, we have a 52 report extreme over there in small speculators. Not that big. In case of commercials, you can see they're definitely much closer to their bullish side, and large speculators as well. So this means that we can expect prices to go higher from here, I would say. No question about that. Even though small speculators are pretty optimistic about the market, I'd say commercials and large speculators positioning is definitely more important to view right now. But of course you can see there's a 13-15 report extreme over there, but judging from the picture we see, it's an extreme that should be definitely looked at carefully. Our last market for this review is Soybean Meal. We have a 33 report extreme over there in small speculators positions, meaning basically nothing. It's not an extreme that we should be talking about. Of course, in relative terms, it's definitely bullish. But if you look at the wider perspective, nothing too unusual. I want to say in relative terms that was actually bearish. Okay, so I just made a mistake over there. But you can see that we're more or less in between the two extremes in case of commercials and large speculators as well. So a little bit, I would say the general picture, even in commercials and large speculators, is more bearish right now. Okay, that is going to be all for this review. Don't forget you can look at other COT charts on our COT charts page, and a more in-depth and detailed COT analysis can be done over here. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.